on a cloudy and warm Sunday afternoon in Northeast Ohio. Yes, the temperature in the 50s right now. It is raining. It's not getting above freezing again from tomorrow morning for the rest of the next week or so. But for now, it's warm, at least warm for December. And the Browns are hot. At least the defense is. 13-6. The Browns come out on top later in the podcast. Is it good that the Browns won? Because they've cost themselves the top 2 pick in the draft. They will not get that now, most likely. We're looking at 5 or 6 or even lower potentially. Does that matter? Do you not care about that? Hey, heck of a performance by the defense. We'll get into that, and we'll talk about Shadeur Sanders with a tale of 2 games. First quarter and a half, excellent. Second back end 2.5 quarters, hideous. So it was really both extremes in this game for Shadeur Sanders. We'll get into all of it coming up on this Bet Rivers episode. Well, they're all Bet Rivers episodes of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull. And before we get going on anything else, let me remind you that Bet Rivers players who play same-game parlays of at least $10 on NFL or NCAA football games will receive an entry into the weekly Squares game. You see it right there. Winning Squares can earn up to a $50 bonus bet per entry. See the Bet Rivers app or website for full details. Final score 13-6. Offense optional in this game. There was very little offense in this game outside of the Browns in their first 2 drives. The Browns moved the ball very nicely in their first 2 drives. Shadeur Sanders, in the first 2 drives, he was, his first pass, 19 yards. That was a nice throw, right? So 1 for 1, 19 yards. 1 for 2, 19 yards. His third pass to Jerry Jeudy, 2 for 3 for 29. Then an incomplete 2 for 4, 29, 3 for 5 for 31. In the second drive, great drive, they scored a touchdown. He hit the big pass to Tillman. That's 4 for 6 for 63. Then we did some runs. And then to Fannin, 5 of 7 for 91. So 5 of 7 for 91 yards. Then in the third possession, Browns get it back. Shadeur hits Jerry Jeudy for 13. Hits Jerry Jeudy again for 15. And then a 1-yard loss to Dylan Sampson. And then the passing game and really the offense as a whole kind of went to hell. So Shadeur started 7 of 9 for 119 yards. 7 and 9 for 119 in the first two drives and change. The rest of the game, he was 10 for 14, which is actually good completion percentage-wise. But it was only for 67 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 picks. So the offense just completely disappeared. They couldn't run the ball. Shadeur was their most effective runner, 4 carries for 20 yards. A lot of things in this game, and I want to get to the defense because this was all about the defense. Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, just absolutely terrible. Jim Nantz has lost his fastball. It felt like they knew nothing about the Browns. I mean, Tony Romo earlier in the game, Browns are loaded with talent at running back. Their only talented running back is hurt. Their second best running back, who's not that good, Jerome Ford, is also hurt. And Dylan Sampson, I mean, he's okay, but he didn't do anything. And they're going on and on about Raheem Sanders. I know he had a minute last week. Or Travion Williams, the young guy. Travion Williams is a journeyman who's 28 years old. What is he talking about? Tony Romo has no clue. Now, something that really hurt Shadeur Sanders obviously was the injury to Harold Fannin. He's his go-to guy. He looks for him all the time. He went to him twice for 30 yards, including that nice catch on the touchdown. That was really a not great throw by Shadeur, but it was a great play by Fannin on that touchdown, and he re-injured himself on that throw, and he was out for the rest of the game. And pretty much after that, the next possession again, 2 nice passes to Judy, and then that was it. I mean, Judy got off to a good start. Tillman made the nice long catch. Fannin, and then there was pretty much nothing in the passing game or the running game after. I mean, like I said, the Browns, 2 plays into their third drive, had 2 plays into their third drive, they had 41 yards on the first drive. They had 86, so that's 127. And then the first 3 plays, 127, 142, 100. They had 155 yards of offense with 13:36 to go in the second quarter. And the rest of the game, they had about 100 yards in nearly 3 quarters of play. It was just absolutely awful. But it didn't matter because the Steelers' offense was horrendous. Aaron Rodgers, absolutely awful in this game. The game plan for Pittsburgh, terrible. They ran it effectively early, and they just, until that final drive where they got the ball inside into the 5-yard line, whatever it was, they couldn't move the ball at all. They were scared to pass. They were absolutely scared to throw the ball. I was so worried about Myles Garrett. I get it, but my God. And I know they have no wide receivers right now. Something we know about as Browns fans plenty. Their wide receivers had a total of 8 catches. Browns have been there before. I mean, how many catches did the Browns wide receivers have? 6, 7. Let's see. Bond made it 7. I don't even know if Sal Canella's a wide receiver or a tight end. Guess he's a tight end. I had no idea. Sounds like a guy I went to elementary school with. So the Browns receivers only had 8 catches also. But 8 catches. 16 total catches by wide receivers in this game. But the Steelers were embarrassingly bad on offense. Rodgers, absolutely awful. And they, he's trying to hit Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the end zone at the end. 2 plays in a row. They're out of sync. They really missed it. The Browns let him just kind of march down the field in that last play. But Browns defense played a great game. Carson Schlesinger, I don't love the fact that he's playing with an injury. I respect the toughness. It doesn't seem like something smart to do. I guess they felt like it couldn't get worse. He played well, even with the injury, tied for the team lead in tackles with Devin Bush. They both had 9. Devin Bush played well. I thought it was Mason Graham's best game in a while. Grant Delpit played well, had a sack in the game. Alex Wright had a sack in the game. It's so funny when Alex Wright had the sack, Jim Nantz goes, the crowd thought it was Myles Garrett. No, well, they did, but you thought it was Myles Garrett, Jim. You announced the sack as if you thought it was Myles Garrett. Don't try to play it off like the crowd got it wrong. I thought, listen, the secondary played well. Not that there was much of a threat, but Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell both did a good job. Couple of bad penalty. I thought the offensive pass interference on the Steelers early in the game was awful. They kind of made it up for it with that stupid taunting call. Although the taunting was dumb, they shouldn't have called the penalty. I actually thought it was pass interference on that final throw of the game by Denzel Ward. It probably should have been pass interference, but it isn't. And the Browns win. Now, is this a good thing? I know some fans don't care. They just want to win. They don't care about draft picks. But if the Titans lose, which they're about to lose, then the Browns go from what they would have been the second pick in the draft after today if they had lost. Now, assuming the Titans lose and they're down 8 with 32 seconds left at their own 43 on a 4th and 11. If the Titans lose, then the Raiders, Jets, Titans, Cardinals, and Giants will all be ahead of the Browns. So the Browns would be tied with the Commanders for the 6th worst record. The Browns have played a tougher schedule, so the Browns will drop from what would have been, if they had lost, they would have been the 2 seed, unless the Raiders and Giants tied. Instead, now, they are going to be drafting 7th as of now. It's close between the Browns and the Cardinals. I'm sorry. Browns and the Commanders in terms of strength of schedule. That might change. But as of this moment, assuming the Titans lose this game, The Browns will be the 7th pick in the draft. The Titans just got a first down on 4th and 11, so I guess that's not over yet, but there's 18 seconds left and they're down by 8. As for Shadeur Sanders, hard grade to give. I mean, like I said, the first 2 drives and then the first 2 throws of the third drive, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. I thought the only bad throw he made in those first 2.5 drives was really the touchdown to Fannin. I wouldn't even say it was just a little bit of a wobbler. But he made so many great throws on those first 2 drives and 2 plays. And then he doesn't feel the pressure. It gets tipped. He throws a pick. All right, that may not totally his fault, but he was terrible after that. The next pass he threw should have been a pick 6, but the Herbig dropped it. He threw another interception later that was terrible. He was not. It was like the tip interception just destroyed the game for him. I don't know if he lost confidence after that. Obviously, again, he plays well. You give some credit to the guys around him. He plays poorly, same thing. It's the talent's not very good. We know this, but we got to be real. I mean, he was awful. He did nothing from the point of that pick on. That first pick, he played pretty poorly. He could have easily thrown 3-4 picks in this game. Speaking of interceptions, congratulations to Baker Mayfield. Baker, you may be asking, well, what happened to Baker? They lost, didn't they? They did. But Baker threw his 100th interception in the game against the who'd they lose to again? They lost to the Dolphins. So Baker threw his 100th career interception in that game, and that's an impressive number. He is the only player in the NFL since 2018 that has thrown 100 interceptions. So congratulations. Most interceptions since coming into the league, 100. It's pretty impressive. Hey, it says he plays a lot, right? 8 touchdowns, 8 picks, or 9 touchdowns. He threw a garbage time touchdown today. 9 touchdowns, 8 picks in the last 7 games as the Bucs have lost 6 of 7. But because the Panthers lost also, the Bucs are still alive. Even though they're 7-9, the Bucs are still alive. They'll play the Panthers next week. Panthers are 8-8. And if they win that game, even though they have a losing record, they would win the division. They would have the tiebreaker if they won that game. The Titans game just went final. The Titans lost to the Saints, so the Browns are now at the 7th pick in the draft. Hey, listen, I guess if you're hoping the Browns keep Shadeur Sanders and don't draft a quarterback, they're more likely to do that now because they're not getting the quarterback they want at 7. That's not happening. And it's unlikely to change. I mean, I guess, and if they win next week, which is possible, the Bengals won today, but, I mean, certainly the Browns have played well against the Bengals. If they win next week, then you might have to fall out of the top 10. But you're not going to move up much at this point. So the Browns are, if they lose, still, it depends how many of those other teams win, but most of them are not going to win. So you're probably looking at 5, 6, 7 if you lose, and even lower than that if you win. It was probably better for the franchise to get a higher pick, but you don't want to root against the team. So I understand if fans don't care about that in the moment. It's always nice to beat the Steelers, and maybe, just maybe, the Browns have cost the Steelers a playoff spot because with the Ravens winning yesterday and the Steelers losing to the Browns today, now you have 2 games that matter next week. You got Carolina and Tampa playing for the NFC South, and you got the Ravens and the Steelers playing for the AFC North. Both divisions on the line next week. Winner, division champ, 4 seed. Losers, out of the playoffs completely. Not a surprise. Neither team has great records. If the Ravens win the division, they're going to be 9-8. If the Steelers would be 10-7 if they win. I think the Ravens will win this. I'd be very surprised if the Ravens don't win. But you never know, especially with Lamar Jackson coming back. Or at least he's supposed to. If he comes back, they'll probably win that game. Although it's in Pittsburgh, that certainly makes a difference. We'll see. But I think if Lamar Jackson plays, I bet you the Ravens win. And then how about the Buccaneers-Panthers game? Where's that game? That game is in Tampa. The Panthers look terrible today. However, the Panthers had to play Seattle, and Seattle's defense is probably the best in football, or certainly right up there with the Browns and the Broncos and a couple others, whereas Tampa's defense is not good. But Ted McMillan was sick today, so that factored in. I'm gonna say the Panthers and the Ravens win next week. I'll take both road teams, but I'm only taking the Ravens if Lamar plays. If he doesn't, then I'm gonna flip flop to the Steelers. So again, it's it was an impressive performance led by the defense. I don't even know what grade to give Shadeur. I'll give him a. I guess I'll give him a. I mean, I think the first 20 minutes he was an A, and then the last 40 minutes he was an F or at best a D. So I'm going to go C- overall. Maybe I'll go C. I'll go C for Shadeur. Up and down performance again. Some rookie mistakes. Some really nice throws. I think we're gonna go into the offseason, as I suspected for the last bunch of weeks, saying, Shadeur showed some potential, but certainly not being sure that he's the guy. But I feel certain Dylan Sampson's not the guy. I'm not certain Shadeur Sanders is not the guy. Now the Browns probably will not have the option of the top two quarterbacks in this draft. That changes things. I think now with the Browns winning, there's a much better chance that they will not draft a quarterback in the first round, and thus allowing Shadeur Sanders to, at the very least, compete for the starting job, maybe with a veteran. I have no idea. Maybe with Deshaun Watson, which is a terrible idea, but, the Browns do terrible things, so who knows? Obviously, still a lot to address. The offensive line, we know the whole story. I thought Jerry Jeudy had one of his better games today. Kind of went away from him late. I don't know. And again, no running game. Dylan Sampson, Raheem Sanders, Travion Williams, 21 carries for 58 yards. Between them, that's less than 3 yards per carry. Travion had one nice run, a nice 9-yard run there. And Raheem Sanders had one or two good-looking runs, but not much for any of them. None of them are very good. Again, Sanders, young player. He's kind of a bruiser. I mean, he's a good, seems like a good third back. Dylan Sampson has his role. For the most part, he's done nothing outside of that one game. Travion Williams, on the other hand, he's just a journeyman. I mean, there's not much more to it than that. Okay. Let's read a few comments. Let's see how nasty people get today. Let's see. Phil's in trouble. Bye-bye Mendoza and more. Cedric Phillips, without his touchdown pass, the game is lost. They wouldn't have won without that touchdown. That's true. Let's see. Brenda Jones, people don't know football. I've been watching football since a toddler. He has room for improvement. Off-season, he will be okay. Evan 419, what an awful franchise. Truly despicable. Shadeur was trash. We cost our draft position. Absolute travesty. Najim Short, the show, y'all don't know football. He played the game with a bad line, as he has 2 bad picks, but he lost his best receiver, B-. 68 couldn't block anyone. Didn't he tackle? Bye. Sanders fans, kings of mediocrity. Hector Lopez, thanks, Bull. Evan 419. Are fans actually happy about this? Is insane. Twilight Zone. Yeah, I'm not happy. I think it's bad that I understand why some fans don't care. But dropping from what a loss would have been the second pick in the draft down to 7, that hurts. That could be a difference between getting a superstar, whether it's a quarterback or not. And I know folks that think Shadeur Sanders walks on water. I understand it's like they don't want the Browns to get a high pick so they don't draft another quarterback. Either way, you've missed a big opportunity here. Vigilant Hawk, no, it's not Bull. DW4 is still a decent quarterback. He's been injury-ridden. There isn't better veteran quarterback options. There are clearly better veteran quarterback options. He's completely shot. We know this. He has not been a competent quarterback in 5 years. Come on now. Class act, Shadeur will be traded to the Ravens for Lamar Jackson in the 6th or 7th pick. Let's see. Okay. Read on TV, anybody that wished their team lost today is so used to losing, but they don't know how to act if their team went. Some people are just losers by nature. They want to keep picking players. Football on the Boulevard, Sanders won't be here next year. Let's see. Pickman, first quarter he was on it, but those interceptions must stop. Elephant, there are really bad teams in this league. How else does your draft position go down? 5 slots with a single win. Yep. Aziza, 40-plus quarterback. All your Browns fans be missing out now. It's 12 time. Cedric Phillips, you're missing so many pieces. The last thing you should be worried about is quarterback. That's the only thing you worry about. Quarterback is the most important thing. If you don't get that, that's crazy. Adam, you the man bull, big fan. Keep up the great work. Keep telling it like it is and being the fan voice. 30 says, let's go Browns. Let's go. Ravens fan here. Let's see. So many coming in. I don't even know what to say. Garage door us. Cleveland needs Shadeur. Shadeur doesn't need Cleveland. That's silly. You can trade Shadeur. Nobody wanted him, folks. Nobody wanted Shadeur. Let's not make it seem he was in high demand. Nobody wanted him. You could say whatever you want. No team wanted him to the point the Browns drafted him in the 5th round. Don't tell me, why are you mad at Cleveland? Why are you mad at the Browns? I don't understand. It's just ridiculous. Let him go ball. Where's he going to start? He's not going to. His best chance to start is here. Stop. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching. Thanks to Kyle and Max for producing. I'll be back on Tuesday with Dustin for the final bullpen of 2025. We'll be on live at 9 a.m. Zach Jackson on Friday for the first show of 2026. Until then, we'll talk to you next time. Where else? But right here in the bullpen with Adam the Bull. Brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.